Have you ever found yourself saying yes when you really wanted to say no? Do you often feel drained by others' endless demands, putting their needs ahead of your own, even at the expense of your own peace and well-being? Are you constantly giving, yet feel like you really have nothing left for yourself? If any of this resonates with you, it's very possible that Centaury could be the remedy you need. And trust me, you're definitely not alone. In this video, I'm going to take you through everything you need to know about the Bach Flower Remedy, Centaury, who's it for, how it works, and how can it help you reclaim your voice, set healthy boundaries, and restore your sense of self. Let's dive in. Hi, I'm Michelle, an online and off-site Bach flower practitioner, herbalist, and educator for non-professionals. I teach people how to reduce their anxiety and stress using Bach flower remedies through my course, Bloom into Balance. Bach flower remedies have transformed my life, and so I'm here to tell everybody I know about them. Today, we're diving into Centaury, who's it for, why you might use it, and how it helps. Let's get started. So, who might need Centaury? A person who needs Centaury would typically say things like, I don't want to upset anyone, so I just kind of go along with things. Or, I can't say no, I feel bad if I do. And when it comes to their lives, they are feeling overwhelmed by the demands of others, often to the point of exhaustion. They're also always putting others first, neglecting their own needs and desires. And they're having a hard time asserting themselves in relationships, whether they are personal or professional. You know that person who's always there for everyone else, but looking completely exhausted? Never really hear them speak up for themselves. They're always chill with everything. Well, that's the Centaury type. They're often overgiving without taking the time to really honor their own needs. To give an example, I used to need Centaury a lot. I would give and give, always putting others' needs ahead of my own. I didn't really know how to set boundaries. It made me feel uncomfortable. So I ended up feeling drained and even resentful. I felt like, why are people always asking me this when I clearly can't anymore? And I realized it was because, well, I was afraid of disappointing people. And so I just went along with everything, even if it wasn't very healthy for me. And because I found it difficult to assert myself, I was kind of expecting others to do that for me somehow. The Centaury-Type. What exactly is the Centaury-Type? These are people who find it difficult to assert themselves. They often feel like, they have to help everyone, even if it means neglecting their own health, happiness, or time. They're known for being kind-hearted, but their inability to say no can lead to a lack of balance in their own lives. The hidden struggles of Centaury. Well, they are, first of all, overgiving, so they'll help anyone, anytime, even if it means draining their own energy. They also have a lack of boundaries, so they struggle to say no, and this will lead to exhaustion and frustration. They're often scared of disappointment, so their fear of letting others down often means they kind of ignore their own needs. And they have low self-esteem and or lack of self-respect. They may feel like they don't deserve to stand up for themselves or express even their desires. And you can see how Centaury has a lot to do with self-worth and recognizing the need for balance in relationships. The Centaury Archetype. The caretaker and the doormat. People with Centaury personality often fall into the archetype of the caretaker or even the doormat. They're constantly helping others, but at the expense of their own well-being. And it's not that they don't care about themselves, it's that they struggle to just simply put themselves first. The caregiver in a family, the one who always takes on the emotional burdens of others, leaving their own needs unmet. The employee who never says no, constantly saying yes to every single request, even if it means personal sacrifice. And the people pleaser, so always trying to keep everybody happy, even at their own expense. How Centaury helps. So let's have a look at what Centaury can do. First of all, it helps you establish healthy boundaries. Centaury helps you find the courage to simply say no without feeling guilty. It empowers you to protect your own energy while still being caring and, compassionate towards others. It encourages self-assertion. So instead of always giving in, Centaury helps you find your voice and stand up for your own needs. You start to recognize that it's okay to put yourself first when necessary. Number 3, it reduces feelings of being overwhelmed. So Centaury helps you manage the demands of others without feeling drained. It's about creating a balance, being able to care for others while also care for yourself. Number 4, it restores self-worth and confidence. Centaury helps you recognize that your needs matter. You deserve to take care of yourself just as much as you take care of others. The famous modern psychologist and intellectual Jordan Peterson has 12 rules for life. One of them is, treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. In other words, take care of yourself as if you were taking care of someone else. The sad thing is that we often take better care of others than we do for ourselves. But when you were born into this body, you had one task, just one, taking care of yourself in every way. Let me give you an example from one of my clients. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah was a classic Centaury type. She was always there for everyone, but she felt completely exhausted and overwhelmed. She came to me because she was struggling to set boundaries and she felt like her life was kind of being controlled by everyone else and by everyone else's demands. So after working with Centaury, Sarah started feeling more empowered to just simply say no, and she needed to. She stopped also feeling guilty for taking time for herself, and her energy levels, of course, improved. She became a much happier and healthier version of herself. Now, Sarah luckily recognized this, but most of my clients who need Centaury don't immediately see that they are overwhelmed because they are taking on too much from everyone else around them. If you feel overwhelmed, just have a look at your life and see if you can kind of identify where your energy goes. Centaury and other remedies. Bach Flower Remedies can be combined with each other freely. Just use maximum 7 at one time to keep it effective. Centaury pairs very well with several other Bach Flower Remedies depending on the underlying emotions. And here are a few combinations to consider. Pine. For those who feel guilty to say no, they often feel responsible for others or failed when they can't commit to everything everyone asks of them all the time. Red chestnut. So this is for those who worry excessively about others' health and well-being and make that their priority. Rockwater. People who are perfectionists, very harsh on themselves and are very rigid, they can have the trait to only be happy when they can be there for others, always and without exception. They are asking a lot of themselves. Now here's an example of a turbo combo. The parent or caregiver who neglects their own needs. So they struggle to prioritize themselves, which is Centaury. Then they blame themselves for not doing enough or feel guilty when they even want to say no, which is Pine. And then they are constantly worrying about their family, red chestnut. So this is a combination that can occur together. Now, these were some common combinations, but remember, always look at your unique emotional state when considering a combination for the best result. Now, how to use Centaury. 4 drops, 4 times per day in a glass of water and sip throughout the day. Or alone, or as a combination in a treatment bottle, 4 drops 4 times per day, under the tongue, or in a glass of water as well. What can you expect? It won't make you selfish and uncaring. Centaury doesn't at all make you stop caring about others. It just kind of helps you care about yourself a little more. It's very subtle, but it's super powerful. So over time, you'll just kind of notice that you're better at setting boundaries. You won't feel as drained by others and you'll start just prioritizing your own well-being. The biggest change that you can expect is that you will stop feeling like you have to do everything for everyone all the time. You start feeling more in control of your life, and that is a very powerful shift. And imagine the shift it will bring in your life. You won't just feel better and, less pressured. You'll also just have much more time for yourself, more energy, more time to relax. You'll be more at ease around money, receiving money and not giving everything for free. Creativity will flourish and, overall competences. So This is all because you can focus on yourself again. You'll be a more enjoyable person even when you say no. Now, I would like to give a little advice for those who are very Centaury, something I learned from my therapist. Only say yes when the demand meets 3 criteria, and they are super simple. Number 1, you say yes when you want to. You say yes when you have the resources, so when you have the energy, the time, the money, etc. And you say yes when you have the competences. So simple, but it's a really good advice that can already help you along the way. So let's end this video with a very quick recap. Centaury is for people who struggle saying no and are overgiving. It helps you set healthy boundaries and assert your needs. And it helps you restore your self-worth and just bring balance into your life. Does this sound like you? Drop a yes in the comments if you relate or if you know someone who could use this. Feel free to tag them. And if you're curious about other Bach Flower remedies, well, I'm building a whole playlist for you. And hey, if you want to know which remedy fits you best, well, you can grab my free Bach Flower Beginner's Guide, links in the description, hit like, smash that subscribe button, and so on and so forth. I also created a course, Bloom into Balance, for people who want to turn their stress and anxiety into strength and calm using Bach Flower remedies. No prior knowledge needed. If you would like to subscribe or enroll, go for it. I really enjoyed making this video and I hope to see you in the next one.